Hey everyone, this is the Retro Gamer Ranting. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fine. I just got back from seeing Star Wars The Force Awakens. A little late. I didn't get to see it day one or anything like that. Just day three. All that good jazz. Saw it with my son, and I just want to do a first impressions kind of thing. I think when the new year comes and I have the time, I literally am just sort of doing this because I got home and my wife's like, oh, I gotta take the kids to do shopping for Christmas, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, I got time to do this. So this is like one of those rare moments where I have a few moments, even though I should be doing other stuff. First off, I want to apologize if I sound a little off because I have, I'm still getting over a cold all month. The whole family's been sick. So if I sound off or if I have to clear my throat or take a drink of water, I apologize right now. Cold, flu, all that good stuff. Tis the season. Ho, ho, ho. So first impressions of this is, yeah, this was good. It's not perfect. I think if I had to rate it at this very moment, you know, without thinking too in depth, I'd have to put it as my fourth favorite Star Wars movie so far, after the original trilogy, and of course in front of the prequel trilogy. I mean, it was a lot better. I mean, you could tell they were definitely shooting for the original trilogy audience with this. They did a lot of nods. In fact, I almost too much in some ways. I mean, I'm going to try and stay away from spoilers, you know. If I let anything slip, I apologize. I'm not going to try to. I'm going to try and keep this as short as I possibly can, but you know how that is with me. But yeah, so when I first heard about The Force Awakens, it took me a long time to get into it because I'm just like, oh God, not again. You know, it's Disney, so who knows? And I slowly started getting into that. I mean, I am an old school Star Wars fan. I mean, I have just tons of Star Wars figures on my wall up there. You can see it. Maybe I'll show a picture of just a quick panoramic of everything. I have tons of Star Wars, old school Star Wars paraphernalia. I even finally gave in and started buying some of the new stuff. You know, I got all of them. I have Finn. I found a Kylo Ren. You know, I found this to be quite interesting. Sorry, as I'm not talking. I want to kind of get into the whole Finn, Rey, Poe dynamic. Like, Poe didn't have quite a big role as I thought he was going to in it, which isn't a bad thing, actually. I think it's good that they're kind of leaving a few of the characters in the background right now, because I think they're going to play a much bigger role in the future of this trilogy. And I think Poe's going to be one of them. I think he's going to kind of turn into the new Han Solo. Like, he has a couple of really good lines with Kylo Ren and stuff like that. But Finn, I think, is an interesting dynamic. I kind of knew it before going in. Just not from spoilers or anything, just from seeing the trailers, which again, it's not a good idea to see trailers because it kind of ruins stuff. Like, he's going to be kind of a redemption story or something like that. But he turned out to be a really fun character, and you know, maybe you'll get into more motivation behind him later on or something like that. And you know, I think Rey was just awesome. Like, I wasn't sure with her character design and stuff like that, but I think Rey ended up just kept growing on me. Like, again, sorry, I was away from the thing. I was just trying to keep my stuff from falling. But Rey grew on me as the movie progressed because because she was basically going to be the new focal point. You know, even though they don't start with her for the most part, and you kind of realize this is going to be the Luke Skywalker of the series of the way. I'm not saying that like she's a Skywalker. I don't mean it like that. We don't really know how she's connected to anything, and even by the end of the movie, we still don't know how she's connected and stuff. But she was a fun character. BB-8 won me over almost immediately. Obviously, he's going to take over for the new R2, which R2 wasn't in it very long either, which I would have been disappointed with if it wasn't for BB-8. So, yeah. Quick thing I want to mention. I mentioned this earlier about how the stories kind of kept very similar. Not similar, but I guess the best way I can describe how the story is it's like they took elements from episode 4, 5, and a little bit of 6, and it all sort of mixed into this episode in some way. I mean, you had a big, giant space station. You know, I'm not giving too much away. The Skywalker thing's a big, giant space station, which is a planet now. You know, and you had very similar elements, and it's all callbacks to that. And of course, everyone's going to say every Star Wars movie is just a big circle, so it would make sense to do it. I would say they relied too heavily on it, but at the same time, I didn't mind it. Kylo Ren was an interesting character. The only, without giving too much away, he's not the big baddie. The big baddie is Admiral Snork or Snore or whatever the heck it is. It's the dumbest name ever for a Sith Lord, whoever he's supposed to be. And that was a disappointing design. Oh my gosh. If there was one design in the entire movie that I did not like, it was the new Emperor Palpatine of the story, if you want to call it. He's not an emperor, he's just the grand whatever. The big Sith Lord who's training Kylo Ren. He was a disappointing design. I really hope it was just because most of the time, well, every time you saw him, he was in hologram form. So I hope when we actually get to see him, he looks better because his design was awful. But Kylo Ren kind of came across as, you know, a Darth Vader light in a way, and which is perfect because he's trying to be like Darth Vader. He wants to be Darth Vader, and he keeps failing in a way. Like, he doesn't keep failing, but every time he's given bad news or something doesn't go out the way, he throws a fit. He just has a hissy fit. And you can kind of see, like, this is kind of like how maybe some people wanted Anakin to act in Episode 3. Like, anytime something doesn't go his way, he throws a fit and throws a hissy fit. And Kylo Ren's kind of like, he's a big bad guy, but he's still learning to be a big bad guy. You kind of get that from it, that he's not fully trained yet, because he keeps sort of, they keep alluding, like, he's part of the Order, obviously, but you kind of get this sneaky suspicion that, you know, the admirals around him, the other people, the new Empire, the Order, I hate the name of that. I like the Empire much better, but whatever, they had to do that. You know, they put up with him, but at the same time, he doesn't quite command the same respect. Like, They fear him because they know he has a temper and he's unstable and he has all this power with the Force. Like, he can, you know, force people to give him information using the Force. So it's kind of cool. So he's powerful, but he's impatient and he's everything you would think someone who wants to learn the dark side is. You know, he's whiny and patient and all that good stuff. So his character arc was quite interesting. And I'm you know, he does take off his mask, which when I did finally see his face, I'm like, I'm like, okay, but you know, that might change in the future. I'm not gonna say why, but yeah, so he was an interesting character, and you could see that there's going to be a struggle within him as well, and so yeah, so ultimately, a thumbs up. Definitely worth seeing. When the new year comes, I want to maybe just do this Star Wars podcast all together, just talking about all the Star Wars movies or just The Force Unleashed, and then maybe by that time I might have seen it again or have more time to think about it and nitpick it. I mean, there's tons of stuff I probably could nitpick on, but like I said, I don't really have the time for it right now, so I'm not going to. But definitely worth it. If you're an old school Star Wars fan, you're going to be happy. There's going to be a few things that are going to annoy you. If you're new to the Star Wars franchise, this is fine. You're going to love it. My son liked it. The only part I think my son didn't like, and he's 5, he's going to be 6 soon, is the middle was kind of dragging. Like, the middle was slow. They probably could have took 15 minutes out of the middle, 10, 15 minutes out of the middle, and it might not have mattered too much. Like, there's just some random scenes, and they go really slow, and that's when I noticed my son was sort of sitting next to me in the chair, just like, just trying to get comfortable, and he's just like, when's this fighting gonna start again? When's the spaceships, you know? So, you know, just a little nitpick. So yeah, good Star Wars, better than the prequel trilogy, and up to you if you guys think it fits somewhere in there with the original trilogy. I don't think anything could beat the original trilogy, at least for fans like me who grew up on it. I mean, if you grew up later than that and you grew up on the prequel trilogy, then you're probably going to think this is the best movie ever. But, you know. If you enjoyed this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and all that good stuff, because when you do, it lets me know I'm doing my job, which is entertaining you. Until next time, game fans, keep playing, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.